Huzzah and well met, champions. Today you might see, behind me, that we are preparing to face the foul fiend known as the Wither. So, I will give you as many tips as possible to make this an easier fight, but nothing about the Bedrock Wither on hard mode is easy. So, first, we're going to demonstrate something. This is a potion of decay and will give you the Wither effect for 40 seconds. It's miserable. It will help if we put this into survival mode so you can see what happens. Do not attempt this at home. You see, it blacks out your heart, so it's hard to see how much health you have, and you will continuously take damage. The only way to remove this effect is drink a whole bucket of milk in a couple of seconds, which I think would give you a stomach ache, but that's beside the point. So, how do we summon this fiend and how do we defeat him? Well, you must first start by traveling to a nether fortress and killing these unfriendly chaps, these wither skeletons. They're 3 blocks tall, they're completely blacked out, and they will sometimes drop charcoal. They must be made of burned bones or something of that nature, and they have stone swords. They hit pretty hard, and they also give you the wither effect. They will occasionally drop these wither skeleton skulls. You'll need 3 of them. Place them on top of a T-shaped bit of soul sand. Only soul sand works. All 3 skulls, and it will create the wither. It will then explode at you, and it will continue launching explosives at you, and as it flies around, and it will make your life very difficult. So my favorite way to fight the wither is to use a riptide trident over a body of water, because the explosions don't do as much damage, and you're able to leap yourself out of the water and stab the wither. However, that does make it take longer because the trident doesn't do as much damage, so it's up to you. You can use a bow or a crossbow. A netherite sword with smite will be your best damage. Since the wither is undead, the smite effect will work really well against the wither. It'll work great against wither skeletons as well. See, one single hit. Charcoal and bones. And that recipe unlocking thing is just silly. At any rate, other preparations to consider. Bring yourself some potions of swiftness, lots of instant healing. Regeneration is great to counteract the wither effect, but don't count on it. The wither effect will work faster than regeneration. And potions of strength are always nice for greater attack damage. Considering your armor, if you have the ability to pick all the enchantments that you really want, Protection 4 or Blast Protection 4 are going to be your best friends as armor enchantments. So let's quick turn this back to creative mode. Final considerations. You might want... Oh, if I can quick find it here. Golden apples and enchanted golden apples are also going to be good choices. If ever there's a time to use an enchanted apple is hardcore mode against the wither. The enchanted apple or the notch apple, or sometimes called the god apple, gives you 4 bonus hearts and a great deal of resistance and regeneration. So, once you've defeated this vile creature and smote your enemies, it will drop this wither star. Or, excuse me, the nether star. I always get that confused. And you'll use the nether star. Oop. Or you'll just punch it out of the item frame and it will vanish. Here we are. It doesn't do anything on its own, but you can craft it into these beacons. It takes 3 obsidian across the bottom and some glass. So let's demonstrate that very quickly, because this video is dense on information, but it goes quick. Oh, you can probably hear the beacons humming, and we'll talk about those in just a moment. So you'll take your hard-won nether star, glass, obsidian, voila, beacons. Your beacon needs to go on a platform of something valuable. So iron, gold, emeralds, diamonds, or netherite. For every expanded layer, your your power beam here, which reaches quite a height, will give you a benefit inside of 60 block or inside of 50 blocks away from the beacon itself. This also applies downward, but as you're going up, it has a greater reach vertically. So as long as you're within 50 blocks below your beacon or 50 blocks laterally from your beam, you'll be receiving any of these benefits. There are 6 in total, though you need the tallest pyramid with 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of valuable items to get the regeneration power. So what you'll do is you will feed it one valuable ingot or single emerald or diamond. Pick the power you'd like to go along. And now it's applying. Whoops. You'll see it off to the right side of my HUD here. But this is mining speed. If you want to change the power, you'll need to feed it more valuables. Speed is always nice. There will be a moment where they're getting both powers because the one is fading while the new one is applied. So, first layer, 9 blocks, and then 5 by 5, so 25 more, then 7 by 7, so 49 more from there, and then 9 by 9, so a further 81 valuables. These need to be solid all the way through, and once you get to the very tallest, you can pick a power, such as strength, and you'll have regeneration as well. The regeneration power doesn't often show up, or doesn't show up as a side buff, but you will see it as your hearts are regenerating in survival mode. So the final bit that we can talk about is building a multi-pyramid. Since you have 6 different effects in total, you only really need 5 if you have a maximum size pyramid because you'll be getting the regeneration effect anyway. But 6 makes a nice little rectangular shape. Your pyramids can be all smushed together so that this beacon is getting the pyramid from all the blocks underneath it, and they can share blocks to power beacons. If you break the pyramid, you'll turn your beacons off. Yes, you can, in survival mode, collect enough Nether Stars to build yourselves beacons all over your world so that you're never without your buffs. And it can be a lot of fun. I'm actually in the process right now of building an arena with regeneration so that I can fight the Wither with regeneration and swiftness if I desire, so that while using my trident, I can fight him in a man-made lake. But you fight him however you'd like to fight him. Many people like to use a bow. He has 2 stages. In the first stage, he will keep his distance from you, or she. I'm not really sure of the Wither's preference. And they will keep their distance while launching explosive skulls at you. Every so often, I think it's every 4th skull that they launch, it will be blue, and you can reflect it back the same way you would a gas fireball. I'm not going to demonstrate just because this fight takes a long time, and I'm not going to waste your time letting you watch me fight an unedited Wither. So we won't do that. In the second stage of the fight, they don't mind closing distance and charging you, and at the midpoint, they will have a massive explosion and summon 3 extra Wither skeletons, which can be a gigantic pain if you're fighting it in an enclosed area. So that's another reason to fight it over a lake or an ocean, because then the Wither skeletons just kind of sink and float away, and you don't have to deal with them as much. And that's really all I have about the video. If you're prepared, we can linger on these for a moment. Get yourself some golden apples. Enchanted golden apples are great. Golden apples are not quite as powerful as the enchanted ones, but still great for the fight with the wither. Get yourself lots of buckets of milk and lots of potions of regeneration, strength, healing, and swiftness. Enchant your armor with blast protection and bring a smite 5 sword. Good luck on the field of battle, my troops, and we will see you on your next quest. Be blessed in your fight against the fiends.